What is going on, YouTube? Thank you guys for tuning in for another video. Hopefully this video is helpful for anybody that's trying to get back into having a relationship with God. And let me tell you this, let me start off by saying this. Having a relationship with God is very, very hard. There's a reason why a lot of people don't have a relationship with God, because there's so many temptations, there's so many things in the world, there's so many worldly things that keep us away from that. Everybody has those struggles, everybody has their own battles that they're battling every single day. One thing that I always love to tell people is that I serve a perfect God, but I am not perfect whatsoever, not even close, not even. We are sinful. We are in this world that all we do is think about sin, right? And there's a lot of things that can push us away from God. There's a lot of things that can push us away from God. Addictions, music, so many different things. But I have three things that'll help you get closer to God. And if you do these three things, you will have a relationship with God, which will then turn into you leaving those things naturally because you have a relationship with God. Everything is about relationship. Just like a husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, if they don't feed into that relationship, it's going to die. It's going to die. So these are the three things that I do to try and keep that relationship with God. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but that's the thing that a lot of people target, right? They always say, oh, he goes to church, but he's doing this and that. But you have to realize, we go to church, see it as a hospital. The wounded go to the hospital because they want to get in better health, because they are in need of either a surgeon, somebody that helps them with their health, right? Same thing with us sinners. When we go to church, is because we need God. We need to have that relationship. We need to have that connection, right? And the connection starts with being at your home and having that relationship with Him. So the three things that I do is, first, pray. Pray, pray, and pray. If you look at throughout the history of the Bible, let's take, for example, Daniel used to pray 3 times a day. And a lot of people think of prayer like getting on their knees, putting their hands together, and just feeling God there. One thing that I realized is that you can pray anytime, anywhere, any place. Sometimes I'll be laying down in bed. Sometimes I have my daughter with me. She's laying on me. She's sleeping. I pray. I pray mentally. I just talk to God. Praying is just talking to God, like you're talking to a friend, right? Talking to a friend. Whenever you talk to your friend, you're comfortable with them. You tell them exactly what you're feeling. All of this, right? You're your best friend. Treat God as that friend. Tell him all your problems, all your worries, everything that you're going through. Because like I said, we have battles that we cannot fight on our own. Okay, there's a lot of things that we need to be better on, and we need God for that. The second thing is read a devotional. Read some people have their Bible app, some people have a devotional. I have a devotional. Do I read it every single day? Do I miss a day? Absolutely I miss days. But I try to read it as much as I can. I try to read it. I try to remember every single day to read it, because it will fill my mind with the Word of God, and it will get me closer to God, right? Prayer and devotional, or reading something from the Bible, gets you closer to God. The third thing, which is very, very difficult for me, and I believe very difficult for other people, is talk to others about God. In my case, I try to share things that are positive, that have verses sometimes. I like to talk to my wife about the gospel, have her listen to Christian music, things like that. That's something that I'm really struggling with, because as Christians, we are called to spread the gospel, and sometimes either we're too embarrassed of it, we're afraid of rejection, especially like at our age, and especially teenagers and people around their early 20s and even late 20s now. The gospel is not popular, and there's a lot of rejection. There's a lot of Christians find themselves lonely. I was reading a devotional. This was a few weeks back, or I think months back. The devotional was something like, please. In the devotional, there was a prayer that we should say as Christians, especially young Christians. It was something like this: please be with all of our fellow Christian friends that sometimes feel lonely, because sometimes we don't want to participate in parties. Sometimes we don't want to participate in things that we as Christians should not participate in. There's a lot of things, right? And it's embarrassing at times, because I've lived through it. I'm giving you my personal experience. Sometimes it's not. Speaking of the word of God isn't cool. Isn't something that people want to talk about. They want to talk about drinking. They want to talk about partying. They want to talk about women. They want to talk about adultery. They want to talk about so many different things. So one thing that I do want to challenge you guys is that if you're a Christian and if you're young, pray for those that are around the world that are living the same thing that you are. But keep in mind, you're not alone. All right, there's a lot of friendships that you can make out there that are Christian, that help you build character, that will be there when you need it. There's a lot of good people out there as well. So you just have to, learn how to pick your friends and things like that. Especially in a relationship or in a marriage, you have to really know who your friends are, because you don't want to be friends with. I'm not saying judge them. I'm not saying don't talk to them, but having a relationship with them, it's a slippery slope. All right, but that's another topic. But anyways, those are my 3 things that I always love to share about how to get closer to God. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I am just a sinner as anybody else, but I want and I feel in my heart that I want to get closer to God. And if you are one of those people, share the message, share this video, and be blessed. And trust me, blessings are to come. If you enjoyed the video, thank you for tuning in. Subscribe for more content. A lot more content coming soon. We'll see you guys in the next video.